Right position, generally not in a position to take penalties.
Does that have something to do with maybe being late on the play?
Yeah, exactly. I think similar to what I was saying. Just if you're late or if you're behind the play, kind of in the wrong spot defensively, sometimes you can be put in a position to take a penalty. But regardless, a lot of the ones that we've been taking, have just been bad bounces or offensive zone penalties that we shouldn't be taking any night.
How would you rate your last game as a center?
Yeah, I thought it was all right. Played the wing first couple games there, so it's a little different when you're in a new system, kind of shifted back to the middle. But thought I felt pretty comfortable there. Had a few decent looks. Defensively played all right. So got to continue to grow on it and continue to get better.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Tu tenais de jouer en désavantage numérique, ça?
C'est sûr qu'on serait fait qu'on reste un peu out of the box, mais je pense que c'est bon pour mon conditioning. J'ai beaucoup lancé à ce moment-là, mais non, il faut qu'on soit plus discipliné, évidemment. À la longue, depuis le début de la saison, ça nous a coûté cher. Puis, on en a parlé encore aujourd'hui, puis je suis sûr que les gars vont s'améliorer de ce côté-là.
Samuel, des fois, on dit, je ne sais pas si c'est galvaudé cette affaire-là, mais on dit qu'un des gars les plus importants en désavantage, c'est le gardien de but. Tu prends ça un petit peu sur toi aussi, à être meilleur en désavantage?
Oui, c'est sûr. Dans la game, on a donné 3 de ce côté-là. Puis, c'est sûr, ça fait mal. À 55, on n'a pas donné de but. Donc, ça aurait pu être, si on aurait eu moins de pénalités ou on a réussi à tuer ces punitions-là, ça aurait été un match plus serré. Puis, non, c'est sûr, on va encore continuer à faire des vidéos, toute l'équipe ensemble pour s'améliorer.
Sam, évidemment, avec la perte de Kovacevic, il y a beaucoup de pression sur Nick Suzuki. De ta position, tu as une vue d'ensemble sur la patinoire. Tu le connais bien aussi. Qu'est-ce que ce gars-là doit faire pour être à son meilleur sur la patinoire, pour être dominant?
Je pense qu'il doit juste être lui-même. C'est un gars qui est tellement tout le temps relax. Puis, à chaque fois qu'il va sur la glace, il travaille tout le temps fort. Puis, c'est toujours notre meilleur joueur. Donc, je suis vraiment pas inquiet pour lui. Puis, cette année, on a quand même beaucoup de profondeur aussi au centre. On a pu envoyer Newhook au centre. Puis, il y a Dvorak qui va revenir bientôt aussi. Donc, je suis sûr que ça va enlever un peu de pression là-dessus. Puis, mais non, c'est le meilleur joueur de l'équipe. Donc, je suis vraiment pas inquiet pour lui.
Est-ce que ça, la perte de Goulet, on ne sait pas si ça semble être day-to-day, donc pas nécessairement à long terme, mais quand tu enlèves un gars comme ça de la formation, c'est un gros trou pour les autres.
Oui, bien, c'est sûr, c'est dur. On a tellement des misères avec des blessures les 2 dernières années, puis on espérait que cette année, ça soit mieux. Puis on est seulement 3 matchs in, puis on a déjà 2 bonnes blessures. Mais non, je ne sais pas c'est quoi le diagnostic de son côté, mais on va espérer que ça soit pas trop long.
Allez-vous faire un sacrifice ou changer les voix, prendre un vaudou?
Oui, c'est ça. Ça, j'avais dit l'année passée. J'espère qu'il y en a pas quelqu'un d'autre fan à quelque part qui a encore sa poupée, mais non, c'est juste des choses malchanceuses. C'est un sport de contact, ça arrive, puis on va espérer qu'on n'en ait plus trop.
Peut-être que, tu sais, comme équipe, vous voulez prendre un step cette année, puis je pense que c'est clair, là, tu sais, vous avez le potentiel de le faire. Même s'il y a juste 3 matchs, est-ce qu'on peut penser que des fois, prendre un step dans une ligue aussi compétitive que la NHL, ça peut être un petit peu plus long que prévu ou qu'on pense?
Oui, mais c'est sûr, c'est la meilleure ligue au monde, c'est tellement une bonne ligue. Puis, avec les pénalités, on s'est tiré dans le pied, donc c'est sûr que quand on joue comme ça, après ça, c'est dur d'avoir du momentum puis de mettre plus de pression en attaque parce qu'il y a des joueurs qui jouent plus de minutes en désavantage numérique qui deviennent plus fatigués. Mais non, nous, on va continuer de travailler puis continuer de s'améliorer, puis on va essayer de prendre le step le plus rapidement possible.
Merci, monsieur.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Going to be a work in progress, but definitely like at least working on it, like having it top of mind is helping my game for sure.
Last one for you. How does it feel to have the best haircut on the team?
If you ask the other guys, they were giving it to me, so I do not think I got the best haircut. But there's a bit of a miscommunication at the barbershop, but I think it looks all right. Yeah,
You're rocking it.
All right, thanks.
Are there days when you sit here in this room and sort of amazed at the journey you've had the last year since being claimed by waivers?
It's not something I tend to think of because I think when I'm done in my career and like when I'm older, I think I'll definitely look back and be like, whoa, that was a crazy ride. But now that I'm in it, I'm just trying to focus on today. You know what I mean? I know I had a conversation with one of our strength coaches. He's like, I think it was the Chicago game. He's like, today marks 1 year of us picking you up off waivers. He's like, you've came a long way in that year. And so when you have like that one date where you kind of can look back, I'm like, well, I have came a long way in the year. And that's like encouraging because I'm giving my all into the team, into my game, and to trying to be better. So that's encouraging to know that you're giving your all, and you are, when you look back 1 year, I think I'm further along this year than I was last year. And so next year at this time, I want to be even further, and that's just the way it goes.
Where do you think your game's improved the most since you've arrived here?
I think there's a lot of little things that have improved, like puck touches wise, like certain tactical skills, but I think the biggest improvement would be mindset, confidence, comfortability. That's something that you really need at the highest level because of all this, all the media attention, everyone at the games. Like, it is like a bigger stage, so there is more energy, and you have to like be able to work through that energy and be calm and confident in those situations. So I think that's been the biggest improvement.
I started talking with Adam Nicholas at the end. How has he maybe been able to help you?
Yeah, it was a good talk today, and I can talk to him about skill stuff all the time. And today it wasn't necessarily about skill stuff, but about just that mindset and being like thinking about, maybe I'm rushing a couple chances. Like last game against Minnesota, I had a lot of chances. So it's like he's kind of talking me through, I guess he watched my goals in the American League, and he's like, you were loose, you were comfortable, and we're kind of just talking through why was that there versus not now. And I'm like, well, I want to show that I can do that at this level. He's like, but you want it too bad. And so it was like, without getting too deep in that conversation, more of a mindset talk than a specific skills talk, but it's nice to, have him on my side for sure.
When you have obviously injuries are going to happen, but when you lose a younger guy like Caden, you on the back end, what does that mean for the rest of the team and for you maybe specifically?
Yeah, no, it sucks. It sucks for me. Getting to play with him, being close to him as a friend, like that's just something that you never want to see. Wishing him a speedy recovery, and I think like hopefully, he'll be back in a couple weeks. That's what we're, yeah, it sucks. Unfortunately, it's part of the game with it just being a fast physical game and things happen. So just unlucky. Try to be there for him, try to support him, not let us get down from it, I guess.
Yeah. I think your story.
A lot of the focus after his last game is on the discipline. Just the coach was saying, it's not necessarily because the guys aren't working. It's not, it's not undisciplined in that way. It's more like still fault and stuff like that. So when the coach just says, we need to stay out of the box, how do you actually it's one thing to say it and it's one thing to do it. So what are the things that in the play that you can correct to avoid those kind of penalties?
Yeah, I think it's working on in practice, and that's why we had a good practice today, worked hard, and a lot of a lot of battling with the idea of not taking penalties, and a lot of it could be avoided, I think, with a simple keep your stick on the ice when you have it, and because there is a lot more, and you're kind of not used to it from, let's say, summer hockey, preseason, training camp. You're not necessarily getting called like that all the time, and then now I find early on in seasons too, refs tend to call more penalties. I'm not sure if the numbers back that up. That's just the way I feel. So it's just about being conscious of it, stick on the ice, and still competing hard, but maybe being more into the battle with your body as opposed to your stick, so that your stick's not taking a penalty.
And just then on the PK side, there's been a few changes. I think it's focusing about being a little bit more aggressive this year. But just where do you see this group evolving right now as far as the PK play and what are the things you feel still need to focus on?
I think we're definitely we are implementing a new system in PK, and it's something that, although we work on it a lot in practice, once you get those game reps against a power play like Toronto or Minnesota, those are hard to replicate. And so I think with time, we're going to feel more comfortable, because when one person's aggressive, we all have to be aggressive. And as a PK, you're really a group out there. It's really 5 guys against their 5 guys, with our goalie. So it's really being together as a group, and I just think the more reps we get with it, the more comfortable we'll feel.
Did Minnesota really exploit kind of the areas of the ice that you guys are grading a little bit with the new setup?
With the PK? Callie says we got a ping pong match to play. But, I think any good power play is going to do that. No matter what system you're in, you have 4 defenders, they have 5 attackers, and you got a guy like Kaprizov. You're not really expecting him to take a one-timer from the goal line, kind of when he takes that shot. But I find the new skill players are doing that a lot. Matthews does it, Cole does it a bunch. So it's kind of they're finding holes where you didn't really think holes were possible to be there. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, yes, they did exploit some holes, and that's all part of us kind of getting used to this new PK system. Yeah.
Is that part of the chess match maybe between PK and power play? PPs are evolving, then PK has to.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a bit of, it's a chess match, and we both have video to scout beforehand, and it's always going to be, power play thinks they can do one thing, and we think we can do another, from what we see. So like you said, it's a chess match back and forth.
I know Adam does a lot of video work. Is there any current defensemen